Hi, this is Ashley Swartz. It's CES for Beat TV. This is my wrap-up. So I've spent the last couple of days talking to veterans that are old, sort of tired souls, been at CES for the last 14, 15 years. I'm one of them, as well as newbies. And, you know, at the end of the day, what I heard from everyone, which no one really wanted to say on camera, was, not really anything that innovative or impressive this year, right? At least not on the showroom floor. And I can speak from personal experience that there's some interesting things happening behind closed doors, but the showroom floor isn't wowing us with innovation this year. So I thought, you know, making it easy, we needed some time off my feet, so I made a punch list, right? And everybody likes the sort of the top 10. Well, I went for 12. I'm an overachiever, and what's plus one, right? So my sort of 12 takeaways from the show this year are that it's about what I saw last year. You know, nobody wanted to hear about 3D, connected environments, so they retrenched to design and definition. This year, it's design, definition, and sound. So we've got ultra high definition TVs, you know, less than 4 millimeters thick, and now we're adding 100, 300 watt sound systems in them. We've got 3 different product variants, new SKUs on sound bars, so sound is added to that list. Still trying to go back to retrenching what motivates people to buy TVs. The actual experience of watching television gets better, and that's why people will replace their current sets. So, what's the other thing I saw? Number 2, Japan is now chasing Korea. Korea's in the lead. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but I can tell you not just by virtue of the products and the innovation that we saw on their booths, but just their physical presence and ability to actually wow and create wonder. Absolutely, Korea, LG, and Samsung are driving the boat and at the front. Number 3, ultra high definition is the new 3D. So about 4 or 5 years ago, we started talking about 3D. 3 years ago, it was big. At the end of the day, we had no content, and it was too damn expensive to actually distribute or create 3D content. No different for 4K, or, you know, ultra high definition is incredibly bandwidth intense. It's too expensive to serve. There's no content out there, and no network's going to start distributing that content. So again, this is a futuristic show. Ultra high definition is interesting. Nobody's going to buy the TVs, and nobody's going to create content for it. So we're talking 5 years out. 4, connected TVs are so 2012. Right, the showroom floors were about mobility, the connected TVs were interesting, but they really weren't as prominent and sort of front and center. It was, again, design, definition, and sound, and the ever-increasingly number of SKUs and product variants around the visual displays that are actually within each of these booths and part of the OEM product portfolio lineup for 2013. Number 5, what's advertising? Actually, only one OEM overtly talked about advertising in their booth, and the advertising, 2 did. One was about the advertising and the video sort of units within their connected environment. The other was about a closed ecosystem. Samsung showed interactivity using gesture control and sort of creating an ACR device tethering-like interaction with a Samsung device where you swipe it to actually connect your second screen to your first screen. But that's about driving an ecosystem home, which leads me to my number 6, which is that OEMs still don't want to play nice with others, right? At the end of the day, they're trying to deploy closed ecosystems. They're trying to sell a platform, not just a device, and they're not really, you know, sort of playing nice with one another. You can backdoor it with things like DLNEA and things like that, but we're still labeling it as proprietary platforms and trying to deliver a sort of integrated cloud service. Number 7, it's a little push, it's a little pull, right? So what I thought was really interesting that has happened in the last kind of 5 years of consumer electronics, having come from this industry for a while, is that, you know, 8 years ago, we were trying to push products to market, and product marketing for consumer electronics was about creating demand and pull, right? Now OEMs are trying to catch up with changing audience behaviors, and it's about actually audiences pulling new technology and innovations, because they will find the solution to get the experience they want. Except for the connected homes, which is a big thematic with all the major OEMs this year. Connected homes still are trying to create use cases for why you're actually going to create your shopping list on your refrigerator instead of on your mobile phone. I'm not really sure, but the user experiences have a lot to be desired. There's potential, haven't seen the real use case that makes it worthwhile the investment. Number 8, people still like Polaroid. Wow, I've done like 20 interviews over the last 2 days. One of the first things 80% of the people led with when I asked them what was most notable and impressive was Polaroid. People like pictures. They like pictures that print out. They like that instant gratification. Number 9, who the hell's Hisense? Microsoft decided to exit stage left this year. We got this giant booth with a Chinese OEM that is making a big splash. Have a lot to be desired as far as user experience goes, but at the end of the day, they're an entry price point per player that is delivering the same features and functionality that isn't really what's driving the sale of new devices anyways, so it's interesting and notable. I think China's going to come up in the next year and we're going to see a big presence. Number 10, I'd hate the Hopper too, and Joey, his little baby. if I was a network or a broadcaster creating all that content, I'd be pretty pissed off at the functionality they're providing and how big their 2 terabyte DVR is that allows me to actually save content and never see an ad. Number 11, Gangnam Style, really? Is that your shtick? Because GoPro nailed it with the hydrochloric acid dipped, camera, but I saw so much Gangnam Style here, and I'm really over it. Next year, guys, let's stay away from it. The last one, an insight, is that there really still is not a hydrating product that works for Vegas and gets me through this show, so I'm so glad to be going home on Friday. Look, the close is, I saw the thematic here was instant gratification. It's about giving people what they want when they want it, because if you as an OEM won't do it, users will figure it out. Millennials in particular are savvy, they're always connected. It's not a second screen, it's a third screen. They're always on the go. They want their content when they want it, how they want it, where they want it, and they'll get it. Thanks for coming. CES was great this year. I am so glad to be headed back home to my calm, collected city of New York, and I can't wait to see you next year. Thanks.